What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, and I'm back at y'all with another one. So, former WBO welterweight world champion, knockout artist highlight reel, Brian Norman Jr. has now, after his loss with his dad, Brian Norman Sr., to Devin the Dream Haney and losing his title, is now with well-renowned Hall of Fame trainer in Houston, Texas, in Ronnie Shields. Ronnie Shields also trains, obviously, Jamal Charlo, trained Jamel Charlo, trained Mike Tyson, right? But now he also has another fighter he brought in his stable. Former three-belt unified WBA, WBC, IBF welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, Errol Spence Jr., who's 28 wins, 1 loss, no draw, 22 wins by way of knockout. Errol Spence hasn't fought since we saw him take that first loss of his career in dramatic fashion, July of 2023. So it's going to be 3 years. Now, Errol Spence is reported to getting ready to come back after 3 years this summer and face the former WBO world champion, junior middleweight, Australian superstar boxer. He's a superstar in Australia, the son of a legend, Kasta Tszyu, and Tim Tszyu. Many people are doubting Errol Spence and if Errol Spence still has what it takes, because he suffered a horrific car accident after he beat Sean Porter. He also took a lot of punishment in that fight with Terrence Crawford. He got dropped 3 times, then stopped. He also suffered major eye injuries. He had 2 surgeries on his eyes, detached or I believe it was detached retina. So he had a lot of physical injuries. So you got people like Robbie Garcia saying that Errol Spence couldn't beat a tune-up if he came back. He's washed up. A lot of people doubting Errol Spence in his comeback because, again, the last time we saw him. Well, Brian Norman Jr., who trains with Errol Spence now, is saying that he's watching Errol Spence in sparring. He's watching Errol Spence train. He says, after all the things he's been through, you would think at this age, 36 years old, that Errol Spence would be pacing himself. Brian Norman says that he's setting the tempo in the fight, in the gym. He's setting the bar. He's pushing. And him pushing is forcing everybody else in the gym to up their game. Says that he runs 5 miles. They was running 5 miles, and he said they were talking, and Errol Spence just told him, my mindset is a dog. Now remember, Tim Tszyu, after he just won his fight, Tim Tszyu stated that it's time to go fishing, wheeling the big fish, stated that Errol Spence is the last of his Mohegans, so to speak, of his generation, and he gonna do Errol Spence like Sebastian Fundora, the Towering Inferno, just did Keith Thurman. Well, he stopped Keith Thurman in brutal fashion. So he's saying he gonna do the same thing to Errol Spence. So Errol Spence responded and said, oh, you think this is a joke? I'm gonna do you bad. And Brian Norman says he getting ready to do somebody bad. If y'all are underestimating Errol Spence, you are sadly mistaken, is what Brian Norman said on Brian Custer's show. And he stated he sets the tempo. He sets the bar in the gym. He's pushing everybody. And he said he admitted that Errol Spence is his favorite fighter and he's learning from him. But he said Errol Spence is setting the bar and setting the tempo. And he said that he looks absolutely great. And Tim Tszyu is the rumored opponent and comeback. He said Tim Tszyu is going to get done bad, or whoever he comes back with, they're going to get done bad. And I said this. I said, I think that after Errol Spence come back, a lot of people going to owe him an apology. Now, do I think that Errol Spence can beat Sebastian Fundora? No, that's a tall order. I think Sebastian Fundora, like Terrence Crawford says, just a cheat code, man. He's 6'6", 80-inch arm reach, southpaw, fighting at 154 pounds. That's ridiculous. To take this, he is the same height as Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is 6'6" with an 82-inch arm reach. He's 6'6" with an 80-inch arm reach. Joshua fights at heavyweight. He fights at 154. Not even light heavyweight. He's a super welterweight. So the guys he facing, 5'8", 5'9" at best. At least Joshua is fighting guys 6'5", Tyson Fury 6'9", Wilder 6'7", Alexander Usyk 6'4". The tallest guy he fighting that come close to him is going to be Jaron Ennis, Xander Zayas, and Virgil Ortiz, who are 5'10". The closest arm reach, the longest arm reach you have is Jamel Charlo, who's 5'11". He's 5'11". Jamel Charlo, Jaron Ennis, Xander Zayas, 74-inch arms. He's still got a 6-inch arm reach over them. He's a cheat code. So saying this to say, Errol Spence is on a mission. And I can't wait. And I think that a lot of people are going to owe him an apology. And a lot of people are going to owe Terrence Crawford an apology, because I think they're understating Terrence Crawford and just how great he is. I can't wait to see Errol Spence come back. I think he's going to stop Tim Tszyu within 9 rounds. 9 to 10 rounds. But let me know what y'all think, man. Drop a comment in the comment section. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, or one word, I'm gone. Peace.